Hi, I'm Josh from PSC Motorsports. Today we're going to be putting an assist kit on this Dodge. This kit goes on Cummins from 14 to 22. Our Ram 25-3500 kit comes with a new steering gear, hydraulic cylinder, a cylinder line kit, all the hardware. Our first step, we're going to put it on jack stands, then we're going to take off this driver tire so that we have easier access to the steering gear and the ports on top. And then we're going to pop out this inner fender for more access. Then you can disconnect the hydraulic lines from the top of the steering gear. There are two lines on the steering gear, high pressure and low pressure. Silver tube nut is a 20 millimeter and the black is an 18. What we do there, I had Charlie secure the steering wheel so when you pull the input shaft off the gearbox, the steering wheel don't churn and break your clock spring. The intermediate shaft can be slid off the end of the steering gear. You may need to use a pry bar to start it moving. Just push away from the splines. Popping the pitman arm or the drag link out of the pitman arm, you usually want to just smack it right here. She'll just drop out. With the steering gear out, you can remove the pitman arm with a pitman arm puller and install it on your new PSC gear. Your Dodge pitman arms will have 4 little lining grooves. Put it on there. Then we supply a new nut and a new washer. Word of the wise, I like to loosen these caps before I install it because there's nothing worse than getting in there and then you can't reach the caps. Your O-rings on your stock power steering lines, your high pressure and your low, you will pop those off, right? And then you will put your new O-rings on there. Okay, and with this stock ride height, be sure to get the drag link in before you put it up there. Like I said, 2-person job, 1 person to hold it, 1 person start it. Then you can reinstall the sway bar. The intermediate shaft then can be reattached to the steering gear. Make sure it is fully seated and the bolt is in the groove. We have our little hydraulic Loctite that comes in our kit. You just put a dab on there and it's hydraulic sealant so the stuff don't leak. Install the pressure line and return line into the gear. So now we torque it down to about 225. We just popped out the steering stabilizer, the stock steering stabilizer. So now we got our cylinder. Now we're going to go ahead and put the jam nuts onto the cylinder, run them all the way down. Then we're going to put the rod ends on there. And more or less you want to clock them so the ports of the cylinder are straight up. You will have to drill out the stock steering dampener bracket to fit the PSC Ram. Then jack up the front axle and turn the front end to the driver's side until you hit the steering stops. Then install the cylinder fully compressed using the included bracket. With the cylinder bottomed out and the axle on the steering stop, no measuring is required. Now we can hook up the cylinder assist lines. The line closest to the input shaft goes to the passenger port on the cylinder. With the front of the vehicle supported on a jack or some stands, fill the reservoir with some fluid and the engine off and begin to work the steering wheel back and forth from lock to lock. Once the bubbles start coming up through the fluid, you can start the vehicle once again and work the system back and forth again. When there are no bubbles present, shut off the vehicle, install the cap, and that's how you properly bleed a PSC steering system. Top off the fluid, reinstall the inner fender, and test drive the vehicle. So we just got done with the steering kit on this truck. Smooth install for smooth steering. For information on this kit or any of our components, head to pscmotorsports.com.